went from a total beginner to my first fight at 18 years old. I've always had the desire to want to fight, especially from a young age, around 14 or 15. It was always in the back of my mind, but I've never ever took the first step to actually reach my first fight. So, a year ago, I decided, okay, you know what? My friend is inside one of the fight gyms. So I decided to ask him about it, and then eventually I just took up the courage and took the first step to joining a gym. At first, when I went, it was very scary. Of course, I didn't know what to expect. I was late for my first lesson because I didn't know where the gym was. It was in this secreted area, which it's just very hard to find because there's so many stalls there, and it's just in one of the garages where you can't see it from the outside. When I went for my first class, I didn't know how to kick. There was this heavy bag where I had to kick 10 times, and then I did the kicking 10 times, and then it was so painful that I just couldn't kick anymore. So after that day, I rested for 2-3 days before going back for another class. But yeah, after that, once your body and your shin especially is more used to the kicking, you just naturally just get better at it over time. So after months of training goes by, I asked my coach, hey, I want to fight, that. This is why I joined the gym in the first place. So I just took up the courage and I asked him whether I could fight. And then he told me that I'm not ready yet. So I was like, huh? But I'm pretty sure I'm ready. I was confident in my ability. When we had sparring, I was quite calm. I knew what to do. Of course, this was after months of training. So at the start, it wasn't like that. At the start, I was clueless. I can show you videos of it. Clueless, didn't know what I was doing, running away, very scared to get hit. But after a few months, I kept my composure in this sparring. So I was quite confused when my coach was like, you're not ready yet. So I took it as oh, okay, I'll do better, So I went maybe about 4-5 times a week to classes. So yeah, it was quite straining. And on top of that, I was doing weightlifting. So yeah, that was a lot of my time. And I'm in school as well, so had to organize and arrange everything accordingly. Oh yeah, I forgot to state. I joined the gym around March. So like I said, months go by, and then I kept improving my skills and expertise. And then August hit, and then one Friday during training, my coach just came up to me and asked, do you want to go for this upcoming event? I was like, oh. So that means my mind was there was so many thoughts going in my mind. I was like, it was mixed emotions because I was scared and excited at the same time. And then I asked oh, when? So he said late of October. So that's around 2.5 months to train. So I took that. I took the fight, and then for those 2.5 months, I worked really, really hard. So I don't know if I can find videos about it, but I'll put it up. Trained really, really hard, and then nearing to the fight day, I have a girl, right? So I asked my girl to come over, my close friends, even my lecturer. So I had a few close people coming. Going to the event itself, I was so excited. Excited and nervous at the same time because it's my first time. I didn't know what to expect. Even though some of my teammates that I really have fought told me oh, you should do this, do that. But then it was so overwhelming that I couldn't really think. It was just the fight was just in my mind the whole time. So I'm not gonna bore you. You can look at the highlights. As you can see, I lost the fight. He hit me with like a very good shot right on my solar plex, and then I was too tired to even like continue at that point. So yeah, I was standing 8 count, and then I caught up, tired as fuck. Ref, even if you notice, if you look back, he put my hands on his shoulder, which like I don't think the ref is supposed to do that, but he did that, and then he asked me like, "Oh, am I okay? Am I okay?" And then I just remember me being like, I couldn't even, I didn't even have the energy to even respond to him. So I was like, and then, and then it just ended. After the fight, the few days after that, I didn't take a lot of damage, to be honest. It was just mainly like my stomach and my core area. That I believe his knees were like one of the main factors in the fight. So for my recovery and everything, it was quite chill. I didn't do much. I just let my body heal naturally. Didn't go to therapy. Didn't have any bruising or anything much other than like a few marks on my face, which is like whatever. Going back to training after that, to be honest, I went into my first fight so confidently, and then after a result like that, it kind of took a hit to my confidence. So when I went back to training, it was a bit tough for me. Like mentally, I wasn't right. I didn't feel like actually training. I could feel like me being so much more fatigued than like when I first before the fight. So I think that played a big role. Like especially when I was like so confident going in, I was like, I'm gonna knock this guy out, and then I was the one that got TKO'd. So it's very unfortunate. The time that you're watching this, I already had my second fight, so stay tuned for that. It'll be out soon. Thanks.